3 months is a big enough sample size for you to prove to yourself, your DSC, your RSC, that you know what you're doing. But who better for someone new to learn from than someone who's just in their shoes? And I think that's the most important part, is when we have CATs that have been here for less than 12 months, the new people coming in could see how quickly they become successful and move up.
Welcome back to the LA Legends, where Aflac pros sharpen their skills, swap stories, and build the LA South market one legend at a time. I am Michael Fisher.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Today's episode is about one of the greatest responsibilities we have as a leader. Not just hitting production goals, not opening new accounts, but building people. Because every successful organization is only as strong as the leaders it's developing.
And this is a special in-person, live from Monrovia podcast. So I'm super excited. So for DSC, RSC leadership, we have a tandem here of Mr. Colin Levenson and Ludwig Vargas. Welcome, guys. Yay. They are so excited. Luda, do you have any opening comments?
Yes. Thank you, Mikey and Michelle, for giving us the opportunity. What's up, LA South? This is a $1 million episode. If you don't believe it, check RPM.
Wow. Nice. Okay. So this is the energy that we're bringing into this one. Colin, we wanted to start off with just a softball. So obviously when you promoted to DRC, maybe some people don't know this. I actually made a huge mistake and promoted you to become regional sales coordinator. Just kidding.
Biggest mistake of your life.
Yeah, biggest mistake before. Yeah, great decision. But also, organically, you promoted Luda inside of this. He's now your number one DSC. But how did you first meet Luda? When did you first meet Luda? Tell us your origin story.
Yeah, cute story. 9 years?
9 years.
9 years ago, recruited Luda through, I don't even know how you applied, but when I was a DSC, Luda came into the office, sat in the info session. Luda thought that I was bullshitting him because he asked what my major was, and both of our majors are advertising. Nobody is an advertising major, so
Both advertising.
the rest of everything out of my mouth, he thought I was lying for the rest of the conversation. So he'd never met another advertising major.
Wow.
Then it took him 4 times to pass this exam.
3 times.
I'm going to say 4 because it sounds better.
3 times.
Yeah.
On the record, 3 times.
4 times to pass this exam. I remember the last time he called me, basically about to give up. And I told him that he had made it this far and that he should test one more time. And I still believe in him. And yeah, look at him now.
I passed by 1 point.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. Overachiever. Stop right.
Yeah.
Hey, you passed.
Doesn't matter if it's by an inch or a mile. But
Yeah.
Hey, just 1 point.
Do you remember anything from the interview with Colin that he's a liar?
Honestly, luck of the draw because the way they did the infos back then, but I did think it was BS, telling me that he was an ad major, because I was an ad major, and he asked me first and he was like, oh, me too. So I'm like, oh, he's BSing.
Yeah.
So I gave it up. But coming into Aflac and the interview process, it was good and very encouraging and always like guiding me in the right track.
Yeah.
So,
I remember like when you and I first met, and I always think that this is a fun story. So can you talk about the Monday that you almost quit Aflac and then what happened right after?
yes. This is a long one, but I'll sum it up. I came in with my mindset already made up that I'm going to quit. We had a regional meeting and the regional coordinator at that time is telling us that he read a book about quitting. So I'm like, great, this guy's telling me to quit. Then we break off into the district meeting, but Colin, super enthusiastic, asked me, hey, what do I have on my schedule? And I said, I have 2 appointments. Went to the first one. I think wrote an accident policy and he told me not to go home. And I went home.
They went home.
I went home.
Classic.
Because I was quitting that day. My next appointment was at 3:15. So after school, and I lived fairly close to the school and it was maybe 2:50 and my mind was still set on no. At 2:55, I'm rushing to change and, go to this appointment, and I think I rolled her up for about 3,000 AP. And when I saw my paycheck, I told my dad, I'm like, hey, Dad, guess how much I made? I think it was roughly around $600,
Yeah.
and plus the accident policy on top, maybe like $700. And my dad told me, "Oh man, that's what I make a week." So the day that I was going to quit is when I turned it on and said, "Oh man, why don't I make $700 a day?" So
That's
Wow.
crazy story. I love that story. You also told me that you were watching like Premier League or Champions League before then.
I thought we were keeping that part.
Yeah.
But no, I went home and watched soccer.
Yeah, I got that. So yeah, if you are at home right now, you do have a chance. And if you failed 3 times, yeah, four times, you have a chance.
Well, I was curious, you guys do have such a long history. When you first interviewed him, the tenacity of taking the test again and again, and now he was starting, did you see like a glimpse of what that future was going to look like for Luda?
Well, I also didn't pass the test on the first time. So I tell a lot of my new associates coming in when they fail that there's no bearing on how well they're going to do here. If they pass the test the first time or not, I'm just not a good test taker. So I think the same was for Luda. I was also young at the time too, and remembered being a recent graduate, just like he was, and interviewing for the first time. Aflac was the first career that I took right when I graduated from school. So I saw myself a lot in Luda, and I think he also saw himself in me, which is why we had that connection at first. And I really tried to tell him, don't give up.
Yeah, not giving up. That's how we are all here today.
Yeah,
And not running away when it got tough. So, the dynamic the two of you guys have today with you stepping up as a region, right, and promoting Luda as your district as well. Talk us through some dynamic of this relationship that you guys have today from where it was a year ago.
I'll even bring it back a step further.
Yeah.
When we were in Culver City together before we were in this region for the first time, when Luda was on my team as a CIT, he was the one that I could trust the most.
How did you identify as a CIT? To take a step back a little.
Well, he was rookie of the year. But I guess before that, he became CIT. He did everything that was asked. He would actually be in the field every day. Now watching Premier League soccer once he realized that he could make a career doing this.
Yeah.
It was the Premier League. The World Cup, I was definitely at home watching it.
Yeah, for sure.
But same this year, so nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. Some things don't change.
Half of it was, I was shocked when he sold insurance in the last couple of weeks.
You included, so yeah. No, we got a promotion to CIT after 3 months.
Wow.
He got off to a really hot start. 4 or 5 weeks in, I was already grooming him to be a CIT and to start taking other people out. And right around the 2-month mark, told him that the CIT is the next position up for him, and I'd love for him to be in that role.
Do you remember anything about that time?
Yes, I do. He pulled me in his office and he says, "All right, it's time to get promoted." I'm like, "For what? I've only been here 2 to 3 months. Like, what do you mean getting promoted?" And he says, "You're doing everything we would ask you to do, and you're just going to keep doing it with someone at your side, and you get paid more." And he showed me how I got paid with override. I'm like, "Oh, I like this."
Yeah.
Continued. I started 2018, my CIT contract. So, yeah.
But then to answer your question, I had this Aflac. Luda had a hiatus Aflac that a lot of people probably don't know about. So when I came back into the Monrovia office under you, Mikey, I tried to bring Luda back for a while, as you know, to get him away from AAA to where he went. And I told him that I had a big need trying to grow my district all over again. And I needed a CIT that I could trust, because building a district organically, from nothing when I came at, in order to scale, I needed someone who I knew could train as quickly as I can, and that ultimately just could run around and run yards with me as well. So getting him in there really helped me scale up. And that was essential. And then your promotion happened, which means that my promotion happened. It happened at the same time where Luda was going to get promoted to DSC anyways.
Yeah. That was awesome. So you moving into being a district the second time, was there anything that was radically different? Or was everything different?
I want to say that I was more mature. I have experience now compared to the first time I got promoted to a district. And so I knew what was needed of me and what had to get done and how to do it. So it was just maximizing and executing the plan. So
Yeah.
which made it fun.
An interesting one for all 4 of us. So at one point, we're all successful DSCs at one point, and then Michelle, you moved into the territory asset analyst. So then you got to take the big picture. You moved to AAA, and I remember just consistently, I reach out to Luda every 3 months just to check in on him. And I remember one time it was like, I hate that I have to like ask permission to take breaks, or I have to sit here till 5 o'clock after I sold or whatever. But you actually ran your own business for 2 years. I like to always tell people ran into the ground, but I think that you actually made money.
Both. Yeah, I made money and then ran into it.
Yeah. But so I think you've been able to actually, I don't want anybody to step away, obviously. I want more people selling more insurance, but being able to step back, what were some of the learning moments that you had? Like, okay, I stepped away. Now coming back into this, what am I going to focus on? What am I going to do different?
Yeah. So for me, when I was at AAA, when I knew I was over it was when I tried promoting up. They told me that I had the skills and the drive to be a manager, but I had only been about a year and a half being at AAA. So, for them, in their eyes, I didn't have the experience, I guess. Like, I had the tenure.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm like, yeah, this is BS. At the same time, Colin's telling me like how good it is to come back. So again, I knew the plan and how to get it done. So coming back for me, it was like a refresher, and I was already keeping the numbers for the people that know me. I check the numbers on a daily. So I'm like, okay, well, I see the competition. I think I can beat them. And so I was looking forward to that too.
I love that. What about you, Vaughn?
Honestly, the best thing that could have happened to me was taking the hiatus of running my own business. The person that I am today from when I started 13 years ago, my first run with Aflac, is completely different. Team Blackout and Team Top Shelf. we grew up. But I saw success in Aflac my first time around, and I don't want it to seem like I didn't. But starting my own business and seeing more success and making the most money I'd ever made at the time there, I knew when I ran the business to the ground that if I came back to Aflac, I wasn't going to come back the same person. That was now the minimum expectation, the minimum wage, not to make coming back. I remember having a conversation with you actually in this room when I was kind of kicking the tires on coming back or not. And I feel I would have to be all in and actually give it my all, and just no excuses.
Yeah. No, you did it. I was, it's amazing when people actually, they make the decisions, go all in, and then what ends up happening. How about for you, Michelle? Putting you on the spot, but yeah, I know.
Like the big pictures perspective.
Yeah, because you and I, we both did it internally in Aflac, right?
Yeah.
So if we did it from working at headquarters cycle, so you coming back into the market, what was different for you?
It was interesting to see, I think, going up to the next level, how different things are run in different organizations. Like I think when you're in it, like an associate in your office today, to being in this market, that's your whole organism. But when you go up bigger, you're like, oh, everybody does it the same way.
No, not even close. Yeah.
And then you start seeing the teams that are winning, how they're winning, why they're winning, and the culture that they have. It's very eye-opening. So coming back down, LA South was winning. And I wanted to be part of a winning organization again, having some success when it was part of LA North, to come back into winning. And then LA South has been continuously executing ever since. So it's been fun. Eye-opening for sure.
For sure. Okay, I wanted to pivot in talking about culture and promotion. So you've promoted a ton of people. Your CIT bench is massive, and it's stacked, growing,
big enough.
Yeah. So let's talk about it a little bit. What's your philosophy around leadership development? What do you guys, where does it start for your team?
Yeah, I talk about promotions, leadership in my info session. So the first time they meet me, I already talk about leadership. Talk about an interview process. When they come through the door, I already want to kind of earmark the ones that have told me they're interested in moving up. I like to promote very early. I was promoted to a CAT in 3 months. I was promoted to a DSC my first 12 months in Aflac.
Nice.
And I think that 3 months is a big enough sample size for you to prove to yourself, your DSC, your RSC, that you know what you're doing. But who better for someone new to learn from than someone who's just in their shoes? I think that's the most important part, is when we have CATs that have been here for less than 12 months, the new people coming in could see how quickly they become successful and move up.
Yeah, that's
Love
huge.
that answer.
Yeah. The other one is I always thought about like, okay, I'm not going to let my people that I lead go through the same mistakes that I made.
Yeah.
And you're the same. If those mistakes just happen, it's a lot easier.
Great leaders aren't born, they're built. Build the Bench is a fast track to leadership where you'll learn the fundamentals from some of the best in the country. Develop the mindset, skill set, and confidence to lead your teams and drive growth. Because leadership isn't a title, it's a choice to grow.
What about for you, man?
Same culture, as you can tell, same system that Colin just mentioned. I'm still learning from my mistakes, and just how you said it right now is I kind of make a joke out of it with the agents that are moving up or they're developing, where I'm like, oh, you made that mistake. Like, I remember when I made it. So I kind of share that with them, like, hey, I made that same mistake and it's okay. Let's fix it. And so I think that's how I continue to develop them and grow. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about the quality of recruits that you've been bringing in. How are you guys identifying, like, as they're joining your team, this is a future leader in my organization today? Like, is there a quality that you're looking for or a quality that you might be overlooking that is a potential leader?
Number one, I would say in the interview process, a lot of people say the right things. And it's really hard until they're through the door and they've gone through their first few weeks, whether they're the type that are going to put their head down and do what you ask them to do, or they're the type that make excuses. So I would say it's hard until the first few weeks to really identify who are the ones that I really want to move up into leadership and the ones that are really out there trying. But I can tell in the first 2 to 3 weeks whether someone is probably going to make it their first year or not. If they're doing the work, if they're going home and studying the scripts, if they're writing production their first week and getting appointments. Also for the morning trainings, if they're in here and participating and showing up. So I think the effort that they put in right off the bat goes to show those are going to be the future leaders.
In the first, 3 to 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Colin makes my job very easy with the talent that he hires. So by the time they hit my team, right, it's almost like a relay race. He does the info session, does the interviews, and I do get to meet them doing onboarding. But by the time it's their first day, again, you can tell if this person's here to take this serious and take it to the next level. With at least for me, within the first month and a half, because you might be a little shy when you first start, or you might just be like outgoing. But as you develop, you can really tell that the type of agent that they are, or how to work with them. And maybe I could develop you more in the private sector or more in the public sector, right? But hiring talent is where it's at. That's where it starts.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say a lot of people do the best job selling in the second interview. I've been sold a million times, but I absolutely agree. It's amazing to see when people actually back it up with just the hard work. And a lot of people, they surprise you. The ones that actually are like, oh no, I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to show up early. I'm going to do things without even asking, like, oh, do I need to do this? So it's like, no, they're just already out there doing it. Oh, you say do 30 approaches. I'm going to do 40. Those are all ones that you guys have always shown too. So I always like that. Where have you seen, where in your career, is good or bad, have you seen leadership development go south? So yeah, actually bad. So, but has it gone bad?
A lot of the time. I've been here for 13 years and I've been on the other end of it too.
Yeah.
I think, when people come in here and, they'll say the right things, but when push comes to shove, they don't want to be held accountable to it. Sometimes we give into that, and it's a fault of our own when we don't want to hold them accountable to being a top performer. And then they're middle of the pack. They didn't come here to be middle of the pack, and they're out the door. And I think if we would have just rode them harder from the beginning to the standards that they wanted, they could have been here and they could have been the person they wanted to be.
I think I couldn't pick a better one. And I've been guilty of that 10,000 times.
Oh,
yeah.
So guilty. And
Yeah.
we were just talking about that earlier too, of how can we be a bit more direct and stop taking excuses as is, because we can see the potential in someone, especially if they're doing the work, and then not holding them accountable to it. And you're like, and there they go.
Yeah. Yeah, they want you to have a gracious conversation. They want you to say that's not good enough, and being on the other end of it. So do you guys ever remember a courageous conversation one of your leaders had with you that helped you walk in?
Good question. Luda, answer first. I could think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. I feel like that's a skill that I'm still trying to develop, because I don't see it until it's too late. And, Colin actually can catch it before, I do. And he's like, hey, if you don't, and this is where I learned, hey, if you don't talk to them, or this conversation should have been had, last week. And here we are at this very moment when they're about to be out the door.
Yeah.
So I'm still developing that skill.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to make the mistakes for you to start realizing the patterns, right? To start recognizing it.
Yeah.
And I think we're all on the same page where we said it was too late. And
Yeah.
you lost a rock star producer who had written 120,000. You're like, why couldn't I keep him?
Yeah.
How about you, Colin?
Trying to remember just one conversation, but I don't know off the top of my head. I would say there's one of the last conversations where I felt empowered. It was actually by you, Mr. Fisher. And this is the only compliment you're going to get. So
I was going to say that's a compliment.
you got promoted. You pulled me into your office. Tell us that it's not official, but we knew it was official because you were already telling us. The first question out of
Still good at keeping
the
secrets.
district's eye or the district's mouth. Well, who's it going to be? Who's going to come in here and be the new leader? And your response was, well, I think the leader might already be in this room. And then you're like, if you want to interview for the position, let me know. And then I think I stayed back after and said, are you serious? Do you, but is my name actually in the hat? Could I actually interview at the position? Would you actually consider me? And it's empowering just knowing that someone believes in you when I didn't know that opportunity was on the table for myself.
That's awesome.
So
I wasn't talking about you.
No one else interviewed, so
Here.
Yeah. Hey, I was in the room too.
Yeah, I was not talking to you. Anyways, that's great, man.
Start your week strong with the Monday morning meeting. Tune in for team accolades that celebrate success, contests that keep you motivated, and announcements that keep you ahead. Don't just start your Monday, own it with the Monday morning meeting.
What's a moment that you could think of recently that you went a little bit extra for somebody and that you actually dove in and poured into somebody and then it ended up panning out or, ended up just setting somebody in the right direction?
I would say, being the leader, you have to kind of put on this face that you believe that you could get to your goals when everyone's giving up. This last quarter was the hardest quarter for myself and a few of my DSCs. I had a number of them telling me 4 or 5 weeks in that we're so behind that they're going to give up on this quarter. And every Monday morning we meet, we go over the numbers for fame. What do we need? What's our weekly goal to get there? How are we going to get there? What's the plan? And for 13 weeks, I had this face on telling them that I know we could get there. And they all crossed the finish line the last week. So I wouldn't say it was one conversation, but it was the same message over multiple conversations where they started believing. I don't know when it was, but eventually throughout the quarter during Power Weeks, instead of putting up these huge numbers to get there. And it was really cool to see them fighting for themselves. My quota is also a little bit higher than theirs. And once they get across the finish line, it's very nice when I get texts from them or from associates asking what we still need to get across. Because it shows that it's reciprocated and it comes back as well.
It's awesome. It's a great one.
Yeah. Just to kind of feed on what Colin just said, and Colin, it's pretty cool because I feel like I live through him where my associates are asking me about Colin's quota, like, hey, do we make it yet or not? And so it's the culture that has been built in this office, and it makes me proud because the ones that are asking me, I know are future leaders, future GSCs, and makes me proud that they see that. To answer the question you just mentioned, though, there's 2 CITs on my team that I have closer conversations with them, like really trying to develop them into the DSC role. And I want to see them shine and, go 4 for 4 next year. And it's just those conversations where they might see a little bit of a gray area, but for me, it's like, oh, hey, I've been there before and this is like what I've done and this is what you need to do. And just keep going out in the field and making it happen. And when it does happen, they're like, "Oh man, you were right."
Yeah.
So that's like a conversation. Like I always knew, but I needed you to know that you can do it too. So
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times it does feel great for them, and it's just black and white for you because you've already gone through it before. And I can even tell people that you've even promoted that both of you did that. You did this as a DSC. You're doing it as a DSC. So, promoting your CITs into district sales coordinator roles, you did it with Ruby by pouring into her a lot in that first year and, not letting her give up on herself and also, holding her accountable to her goals. So that's a fulfilling moment when you get to see that stuff.
Just to touch on that, I'd love to add something because I think Luda has done a really good job of understanding this, and a lot of DSCs fall short in this mindset that they don't want to promote their CITs to DSCs because they're going to lose their top performers, they're going to lose their production. But the reality is, if you're not promoting outside of your district, it's not a healthy organization.
Yeah.
You want to develop people to be the next leader. You're going to get the quota adjustment. You're going to be building next leaders. Luda's already thinking right now who his next batch of CITs are. He's already thinking. Two are going to get promoted January 1st. Hopefully, which are the ones that are going to take his place. He's always going to be one step ahead of it. But that's also why the $1 million district is always going to be a $1 million district. Doesn't matter who's going to come in and who's going to go. He's always going to be at the top winning because it's preparing for it. He's growing leaders and developing them.
Great foresight in that, be able to see the future and understand that that is the name of the game, right? You step into this organization, especially in our marketplace, building leaders and getting them moving into the next step and constantly identifying who can do it. That's what we're here for. That's what stepping into leadership's about. So I did want to turn back to you, Michael, of that belief question. We just came back from a conference, all of us, all motivated, riled up, inspired, whatever it may be. Reality. We slept for 36 hours.
I woke up at 4 a.m. Psychopath. Yeah.
So you were in bed before 4 a.m.
Crazy.
Made some donations out there.
20 donations. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But the belief it's a real thing. You guys talk about the belief and the culture you have in the leaders, right? Luda and Colin here. But for you, coming into someone that believed in you, can you identify some of those people because you're in a seat today?
Yeah, two easy ones. One was Adam Michaels of his just belief in the opportunity. And I was in that situation where I was probably going to quit Aflac. And then he was the first person that was like, hey, if you do this, you'll make 6 figures, and knew it, meant it. And I was like, oh, he actually believes that. And I'm going to do that. That was one of them. That was just so easy. Second one was Elena Shea, who is my RSC, that she saw me as a CIC making recruiting calls till 6 p.m. one day, and she took me to 2 beers at King's Head, which is the second time I talked about King's Head. It was a bar in Santa Monica, and it was the first time I was 21, and I was so broke that I didn't go out to places to drink ever. So when we were in there and we drank 2 beers, I was like, oh shit. We need to get out of here. And I told her that. I was like, we could just run. Like, we could run out because this bill is going to be like $50. And, she was like, oh my God, poor weird child. Like, this is, but she absolutely believed in me. She paid for that time. But I also was like, hey, just keep on doing this, do this work, do the stuff that you're doing, whether anybody's watching you or not. And that all absolutely came true. So I had thousands, not thousands, but hundreds of people that just along the way were like, hey, keep going. You're on the right track. I've had decision makers that were like, hell no, I'm not going to do this, but actually keep it up, man. And just weird things like that throughout my career. So yeah.
People pouring into others. I think I've spent the last year thinking about the coordinators and the leaders we have in our own market, and how can I pour more into the ones that are trying so hard to do exactly what you guys are displaying today as well, right? Nominating or building up the next CIT, become the next district, or as a region today, looking for who's going to be the next region in this marketplace as well. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Also, Joe Nasca was my trainer, and he like got up on a table and being like, "What is your why?" It's like anybody engaged, and that was full. Chris Hager gave me $100 for a happy hour one time on a Friday, and I was like,
Nice.
"Man, this guy's rich."
She works in like nice suits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Talking about suits, I want to share a quick story. So, Colin promoted me again 3 months into the job, right? So, starting 2018 to the end of beginning of 2019, my CIT team did very well. We did like 550,000, which was significant for me.
Rookie numbers.
But rookie numbers.
Do that.
But that was nice. But at the end, like in December, Colin pulls me aside again and he says, "Hey, it's time to get promoted once again." To what? And it was you gonna get promoted to a district coordinator. Also, it's time for us to go buy some suits. And I've never worn a suit, but I don't even know where to go buy a suit other than like Macy's. And he says, "No, we're not going to Macy's. Like we're going to the fashion district." We're going to the fashion district, and we go to the fashion district. He buys me my first suit. You want someone to haggle with, like you have me for you. That's Colin. Colin will have some suits for you.
Yeah.
He loves like that. It's sport. It's sport. But yeah, he got me my first suit, and I bought myself a suit as well. But the best part is after getting the suit tailored and coming in like the first Monday of that quarter one, a lot of the agents there that maybe they had been there before me or they had just started. I remember Anthony Washington, he looks at me, he's like, "Dang, like, someone's getting sold today." Like I've been told me, and I just felt like a boss, like even though I have my tiny little district, but I felt like a boss just walking across the office. And I think what I'm doing now and what we're doing now, putting up contests to buy a suit, and we're actually going suit shopping with my team on tomorrow.
Nice.
And so like those little things is what builds the culture, and like having that winning mentality of, hey, we're moving up, and this is how we're there with you. So,
Dude, that's a great story.
That is a great story.
Yeah. Do we have time for rapid fire or no?
Yes.
Okay, let's do a quick
ready?
one. I know that Colin doesn't know how to read, so I'm not going to ask you about a book. You start sweating, thinking about as of words. But so if you could have a billboard on the way to Monrovia that your associates read, Colin, every single day, that they had to just be like, read this and listen to, what would it say?
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Colin Jacob.
yeah.
Same question to Luda.
Oh man, we have similar styles. Like just keep believing, keep driving, don't turn around.
Don't turn around. Wow.
Don't turn around.
Wow. Don't turn around.
Rapid fire.
That's neat. That's neat.
What is one piece of advice you've been given in life that you actually follow through with?
Don't be scared to make mistakes.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Shoot, I might need some time for this. It's a lot of advice. I've been effing up a lot, and I don't know. Come back right now. Yeah, rapid fire. He's perfect.
Yeah. Keep
He's
that
like,
up.
what?
Yeah.
Keep that up. That's a good one. Now, the last one that I got for you guys, and if you could give one piece of advice to somebody that just started first 90 days, what would be that first 90-day advice?
I'm laughing because in orientations, we do this every time. And it's one of the things we said. It's don't be scared of mistakes. And you need to start being comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Those are good ones.
Same message, but one of the things I started telling a new agent within their first 90 days is I'll buy you your first beer when you get your first positive monthly statement.
That's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is a good one.
Because it happens right around 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready to wrap it up, Michael?
I'm ready to wrap it up. So thank you both. You guys had way more lighting things than I imagined. That was, yeah, this was fantastic. And I'm, as you guys know, I'm super proud of both of you. And I know that you guys are both just scratching the surface. You guys are, since you've been back, I've not missed a quota or a fame or anything. And
It's not a choice.
it's not a choice, and you guys won't do it. You're going to continue. So I just appreciate it. I, even more than that, I just appreciate the leadership that you guys are providing, the culture that you guys are creating. It's cool for us to watch.
Absolutely. It's actually pretty cool to see the journey of you getting promoted to a region, then you stepping as a district, what you guys have built in the last, year and a half, 18 months, and talk about organic growth coming out of this team stepping into January 2027 as well. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your leadership as well as your passion for developing people. Because we know leadership isn't measured by how many people work for you. It's measured by how many leaders you can actually develop. And thank you to everyone listening to the LA Legends, where motivation meets practical thinking for the next legends in LA South. We'll see you next time.